Hi friends, welcome to Canary at Home. My name's Lacey, and today we're gonna make a cool color playscape sculpture. So what is a sculpture? A sculpture is a type of artwork that you can build using many different types of materials. It has many sides, and you can always look at a sculpture from many different angles. Today we'll be using paper and balsa wood to build our sculptures. But first, I wanted to introduce to you a famous sculptor named Isamu Noguchi. Isamu Noguchi was very famous for his simple sculptural artworks, but he also really loved to design what he called playscapes, or playgrounds. He liked to use his forms to create a joyful space for children to play, to gather, and to move their bodies. Check out this playground that he designed and built in Piedmont Park in Atlanta, Georgia. Look at the forms. Look at the features. How would you play on those forms? Today we'll be inspired by Noguchi as we create a small paper and wooden sculpture that you can imagine will be a playground all your own. So let's have a look at our materials. You'll have a chipboard rectangle for your sculpture base, a glue and paintbrush, green, blue, and purple paper strips, green, blue, and purple paper circles, different sizes and forms of balsa wood, glue, 2 colors of paint, and a little wooden person. What did you notice about the colors of our materials? Purples, blues, and greens. These are called the cool colors. Cool colors is a color family that reminds us of cool and calming things like the sky or the ocean or cool grass on your bare feet. These colors tend to recede or fall back from colors that are warmer like red or orange or yellow. So when you build a sculpture, you always have to start with a base. Today our base is this chipboard rectangle, and it sits on my table surface. We're gonna build on top of this rectangular base. I'm gonna start my sculpture today with these paper strips. You'll have many different paper strips to work with. They're all long and rectangular. The goal with our paper strips today is to turn them from 2-dimensional to 3-dimensional. Now, a lot of times when we work with paper shapes and glue, we do what's called collage, and we arrange them flat onto a background paper. Now, this creates a 2-dimensional or a flat composition. 1 side, 2 sides. Our goal today is to transform our paper into 3-dimensional forms. But how do we do that? One way is to pop it up. But then how is it going to stay? For this form to hold its shape, I have to create feet and glue them to the base. This is just regular school glue, but we've let this glue sit out in the air for about 3 hours so that it's a little stickier and will make your paper more secure to the base. To make a foot, I'm just gonna fold up one little piece here. I'm gonna put the glue onto that folded part. And then I'm gonna hold it down with my fingers for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll do it on the other side. Apply the glue. Hold it down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I have an arch. Now I've created this arched form that reminds me of a tunnel that I could crawl through, or like a climbing wall that I could climb on top of. But what are other ways that we can change our paper into three-dimensional forms? You can twirl it to create this kind of curl. You can fold it to create a tent. You can turn it onto itself to create a loop. You can fold it back and forth upon itself, and that is going to create this fun accordion or zigzag. Ooh, that would be great steps. You can use any of these techniques and more to create different forms that look really fun to you for your sculpture. Now, of course, while you're working with your paper, you can always grab scissors from your home to change the paper in whatever way that you would like. After you're finished transforming your paper, once you've filled your sculptural playground with as many different interesting paper forms as you would like, then you could move on to the wood part. We've chosen balsa wood for this project because it's nice and light and airy. So we thought it would pair well with paper, which is also nice and light and airy. I'm gonna first choose this larger piece of balsa because I have an idea that I want it to sit on top of these paper forms to create like a platform. And that paper holds it up. But we're still gonna need to use glue to secure it. Add some glue to that board. And then I'm going to kind of tuck my fingers under this paper form so that I can pinch it together for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what will I choose next? Kind of like these longer pieces of balsa to make some connections on my sculpture. I'm going to keep exploring the way that these wooden forms can connect the different parts of my sculpture. I want to make like a little bridge from one part to the other. You might have to add a little extra glue if there's a weak joint. You can dip your wood into the glue if that helps. I want to attach this part to my base so that dipping it was a good choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might find places where you can even add more paper. One really fun part of this process is that you can use your little wooden person while you're building to explore the different ways that your person can interact with your forms. Now, after your sculpture has dried, then you can add paint. Now, before you start painting, first you might decide what exactly on your sculpture you're going to start to paint. When I look at my sculpture, I know that I want to paint all of the wooden pieces and I want to paint the base. Let me grab some of this turquoise. All right, I finished painting all of my wood pieces and I finished painting, I think, my whole base. It can be kind of hard to tell because I have to turn this sculpture in lots of different ways to see all of the nooks and crannies in those fun forms. So while you're painting, make sure that you're turning your sculpture to see it from different perspectives. Finally, we've added some cool colored circles that you can add as a finishing touch. Feel free to add them at any time throughout the process, but I think after painting is a good time because they kind of pop against those colors. I think I'm finished. What do you think? I think it looks like tons of fun, and I wish that I could be just this small so that I could play on this sculpture too. I hope you have fun sculpting and building your playscape today. I can't wait to see what kind of sculptures you come up with. Be sure to share them with us, tag us on Instagram at @OCanaryArt, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.